Sir, what do you think of yung mga sinasabi on social media that the palace is turning a blind eye into all of this?
Secretary, nakarating na ba kay Pangulo at may direktiba ba siya ukol doon sa sinasabing Pastilyas scheme doon sa immigration? Kasi nagbabayad daw po ng 10,000 pesos ang mga Chinese para makapasok dito sa bansa natin na tinutulungan ng mga tiwaling miyembro ng immigration. Ano pong take ng Pangulo?
I haven't talked about that with him. I will ask him when I see him.
Ano po ang take ng Palace doon, sir?
Any violation, any transgression, any anomaly, the palace frowns on it and will act on it if there are complaints formally filed before its office.
Sabi po kasi ni Pangulo, kahit chismis lang, kailangan aksyonan kagad. Ano, ito po, sinasabi na ng mga ibang witness dun sa hearing sa Senado na 10,000 daw ang binabayad ng mga Chinese.
You know, when the president says kahit chismis lang, he validates that. He doesn't act recklessly on any chismis.
Thank you, Ian. Follow-up, Ina.
Sir, isn't the palace, I mean, how does the palace feel that it took a Senate investigation to reveal this alleged scheme? And kumbaga, what do you think about the immigration officials or leaders at the agency who should be, monitoring what's happening?
Right now, there is only an allegation. If there is an allegation, then that must be proven.
Sir, this isn't the first issue involving POGOs, yung supposed proliferation of prostitution dens, their issue of non-compliant tax. They're not complying, not all of them are complying with their tax obligations. What does the palace make of all this? Don't you see the need for a more aggressive effort to, really go after?
We've been saying that any complaint should be filed, because unless you file a formal complaint, we will never know if there is any anomaly. And even if these are being subject of talks in media, in columns, unless there is a complaint filed, we will never know. You have to submit proof so that we can do something about it.
Can't the palace act on its own, considering the many discussions about it and the Senate investigation showing
How
that?
can you act on it? How can you act on it if there is no proof that there is such an anomaly?
Ni investigation, sir, walang posibleng mangyari.
Precisely, you have to file a complaint with us so that we will know, so that we can act on it.
So right now, until no complaint is filed, you're just gonna watch everything being...
Because there's nothing to investigate in the first place, unless there is a complaint.
So you don't give any weight to all these?
The immigration commissioner is tasked to do his job, meaning, apart from the usual governing his own territory, he has to know whether there are anomalies in his territory and respond to it. Doesn't have to take the president to do the job for him.
Thank you, sir.
Salamat, Ina. Pastilyas issue pa rin, Alexis.
Secretary, given these issues, you have the Pastilyas scheme, we have the tax deficiencies, we have the prostitution, then what impression do they create about the POGOs in the Philippines or the POGO industry?
Well, if those will be proven, then there is something wrong with the operation of the POGO, and then the government has to do something about it. Until such time, the presumption is they're performing regular tasks in accordance with law.
Okay. So, will this prod the government to rethink its policies or maybe look into its policy with regard to the POGOs and the influx of Chinese workers?
Anything that is bad for this government, the government is always open.
Okay. Thank you, Sec.
Thank you, Alexis.